All right, guys. Hey, good Sunday morning, everybody. Hope you all are doing well. I know a lot of folks going out to church this morning or maybe getting ready for the Colts game, which is at 9:30, I believe, over in Europe this morning. So appreciate all of you for hopping on. We're going to get right into the forecast here because it's going to be a busy one over the next several days. As we get into the forecast here, be sure to comment, like, share, tag a friend. Let's keep folks updated for really the first winter weather event so far of the season. I think it's going to get pretty busy here as we get into late November and into the start of December. Good morning, everybody. Again, appreciate you all hopping on here. I'm going to start out this morning with the current radar. And so, what you're seeing here on the radar this morning, guys, snow pushing kind of to the east across parts of Michigan, northeastern Indiana, northwestern Ohio. That's the main wave that we've been targeting, kind of the main wave that worked through last night. A very favorable low pressure track if we can continue that track as we get further into the season. But what's happening behind this main storm track is a lot of cold air being pulled in. The lakes are very, very warm. The atmosphere is actually, I'd say, slightly unstable as well. It's going to lead to a lot of snow shower activity and probably some very robust lake effect snow bands as we go throughout the rest of the day today, but especially into tonight and into tomorrow. So again, guys, this is the current radar right now as of about 9 a.m. Eastern time this morning. You can see snow pushing to the east with this main band, still some accumulating snow ongoing across southeastern parts of Michigan, but we're starting to see these lake effect snow bands really begin to ramp up. I think that if you're in Chicago, if you are in northwestern Indiana here, Gary, Crown Point, Valparaiso, LaPorte, South Bend, you are going to have a very busy next 36 to 48 hours of lake effect snow bands. Now, I don't necessarily think it's a consistent band that you're going to see heavy snow nonstop for 48 hours, but I do think that we're going to be dealing with a lot of heavy snow across northwestern parts of Indiana and into the Chicago metro area. So, Becky, good morning. Brett, light rain so far in Bean Blossom. Be safe and warm. Thank you so much for hopping on. Again, guys, be sure to like and share the stream, tag a friend in the comments. And if you do have questions, be sure to throw those in. We will try to address those as we go throughout the video. For more specific details, as always, be sure to download the Clarity Weather app. You can get that in the app or the Android store, $99 a year. Our team is going to be sending out what we call Nowcast updates as we go throughout the duration of this event and video updates, more specific details. You can also scan the QR code there in the top right. Let's get into the forecast, guys. Let's look at the simulated radar. What I have here is kind of a side by side look of snowfall simulated radar on the left and temperatures to show you how these temperatures are going to be crashing here on the right. And I'm going to turn on in the top right the time box so you can see that there. That is going to be in Eastern time. So as we continue to go throughout the morning today, what you will notice is this snow band, this initial snow band continuing to push off to the east into northwestern parts of Indiana. This is by about 1 p.m. Eastern time today, 12 p.m. Central time. However, over to the right, you can see temperatures generally continuing to be above freezing, at or above freezing. And so, in the most intense parts of the band, you can see kind of the darker blues in Northwest Indiana. Certainly, some accumulations will be possible, but at least at first, we may struggle to see pavement impacts with this kind of initial band. This is as we continue to go throughout the day. We will be getting snow shower activity into central Indiana. If we zoom out here, you can see really snow shower activity anywhere from southwest Indiana up towards Bloomington, Indianapolis, Kokomo, and then up towards Fort Wayne as we continue to go throughout the afternoon today. So this is 5 p.m. However, what you start to notice, temperatures cooling down. And what I think will happen is the further we get into tonight and as we get into tomorrow morning, the snow shower potential will increase and the potential for slushy accumulations even down through central and southern Indiana, will also be on the increase. What you will also notice, especially towards 12 a.m., 1 a.m., and 2 a.m. tonight, look at this lake effect snow band, guys. This is an insane look in terms of lake effect snow. I really think that with the lake effect snow band, Chicago metro area, Gary, Valparaiso, Crown Point, I think that you're going to be dealing with at times 2 to 3 inch per hour snowfall rates. That is number one, extremely dangerous to drive in. So if you were in Northwest Indiana, Chicago metro area, as we get into late tonight, I would not be traveling. Snow will accumulate very, very quickly. We're talking about whiteout conditions. We're also talking about gusty winds. Uh, you could almost even call it blizzard-like conditions at times up here with the lake effect snow. If we zoom things out, you can see down towards Indianapolis and eastern Indiana and into western parts of Ohio, you're still dealing with snow shower activity, but it's lighter in nature. It's not going to be anything near the extent of what northwestern parts of the state and in the Chicago metro area is going to see. As we continue to go throughout the rest of the overnight and into tomorrow morning, this is the time frame into tomorrow morning, 5, 6, 7, 8 a.m. for central and southern Indiana, that I think there's the highest potential to see slushy accumulations. And yes, that includes some pavement impacts here. I don't think it's heavy. I don't think you're looking at, 2, 3 inches of snow or anything like that. But I definitely think there's some travel concerns tomorrow morning across much of the Ohio Valley. If we zoom things out, you can see the snow shower activity is anywhere from central Illinois through Indiana into parts of Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia. And so a pretty widespread area of snow showers. Of course, the heaviest snow will continue to be along the lake here in the Chicago metro area and into northwestern Indiana. But the reason that I think that this time frame is going to pick up better potential for accumulations, look at the temperatures. Temperatures down into the 20s across much of the area around this time frame. And so, I do think that as we get into tomorrow morning, probably a very messy commute. You got to keep in mind, it's really the first snow of the season. Folks trying to get into school, trying to get into work. I would expect and plan for a messy commute. I would plan for delays. I would plan for traffic. I think that it's just going to be a very messy kind of snow globe type of look as we get into tomorrow morning. And on top of that, here, if we look, winds are also going to be very gusty. And this may be a little bit robust, but as these snow showers are moving through, at times you will be able to see 20, 30 plus mile per hour wind gusts. And so in the heavier bursts, you could also see some lower visibility. And this is continuing all the way out through 9, 10, 11 a.m. As we continue to go through tomorrow morning, you can see the main area of snow will begin to shift further down to the south towards the Louisville metro area, towards Lexington, towards Bowling Green, probably quieting things down across central Indiana at this point, but I still think some lingering snow showers and flurries are not off the table, in addition to gusty winds. Meanwhile, further up to the north, still have the lake effect band that's going to be ongoing. And if we kind of scroll through here, what you will notice, number one, it really picks up this evening, 9, 10, 11 o'clock. At times, again, 2 to 3 inch per hour snowfall rates associated with this. You can click around here, wind gusts 30 plus miles per hour at times. But what you will notice is the band doesn't necessarily stay in one spot as we go throughout the storm. It's going to be on and off. If you are in Northwest Indiana and the Chicago metro area, at times very heavy snow, at times you're relatively dry. It's on and off. But when you do get these bursts of snow all the way through Monday evening, whiteout conditions, at times 2 to 3 inch per hour snowfall rates. And so, northwestern Indiana, if I had to kind of circle an area as we get into this evening, it probably is going to be this particular area to start out that is going to be dealing with the worst of the conditions. The closer you get to the lakeshore in here, the more likely you are to see some of those 2 to 3 inch per hour snowfall rates. And it's why I do think that we will likely see some totals up here of more than a foot of snow. And with that in mind, here's a look at kind of the snowfall outlook over the next 2 days. I'm going to look at Northwest Indiana first because that's the most impactful area. But if you click around here, you can see 8 to 12 inches of snow, Evanston, downtown Chicago, Gary, Crown Point, Valparaiso, LaPorte, Michigan City, South Bend over the next 48 hours. And again, where the heaviest of the band can set up, I would not be shocked, and I do think it's probably Northwest Indiana, that some spots can see upwards of a foot of snow. Further down to the south, you can see the further south you go, the more spread out this becomes, the lighter the totals. But into Fort Wayne, 3 to 5 inches of snow, not off the table in here. The further south that you go towards Kokomo, Logansport, 1 to 2 inches of snow possible. And if we scroll down here to the central Indiana area, click around, you can see generally kind of a half an inch to an inch of snow falling from the sky. Not all of that will accumulate, but we're going to see starting this afternoon through tonight and especially tomorrow morning multiple rounds of snow showers. Again, the most likely time frame for accumulations going to be tomorrow morning. And guys, what I would say is in these situations when you have these on and off snow showers, the Clarity app, that is exactly what it is built for. Because we're going to be sending out updates to let you know, hey, these bursts of snow are coming in. Here's the exact timing on it. Here are the impacts. A free weather app is not going to be able to give you that specific detailed information. Our team of meteorologists are going to be constantly analyzing the radar, constantly analyzing timing, and sending these updates out to you directly on your device. You can get the home subscription for $99 a year. Again, you can scan that QR code in the top left. You can also just download the Clarity Weather app and sign up right in the App Store or in the Google Play Store. So here's a wide view of snowfall totals generally here over the next 48 hours. If you're in the turquoise color, that means that you can pick up around an inch of snow falling from the sky. Not all of that will accumulate. Some of it will melt on contact. And again, once you get into these darker blue colors, you're talking 2 to 4 inches of snow. Purple colors, kind of 4 to 5 inches of snow or so. And then it's up here towards, again, the lakeshore. Red colors, 8 to 12 inches of snow over the next 48 hours. And we continue to zoom things out. I don't want to forget about our folks down here in Kentucky, Louisville metro area, kind of the same deal as the Indy metro area, but all the way down towards Lexington, all the way down towards eastern Tennessee, southern parts of Ohio, Cincinnati as well. This is a widespread snow shower event as we go, especially again tonight and into tomorrow morning. I wanted to show this because this is the kind of custom map that you will have access to on the Clarity platform. Team put this out in a daily and an hourly insight this morning and also talked about it in the video update in the Clarity platform. Just to kind of break this down, black circled area, that is where the potential for the heaviest snow is. Localized 12 inches plus will be in play. If you're in the yellow area, very likely to have pavement impacts. This area will see more widespread snow, slushy accumulations likely, but 50% or so of the snow melting on contact. But still, that's a lot of snow on the pavement, probably a plowable event if you were in the yellow circled areas. If you're in the green areas, hit or miss areas, brief slushy accumulations could at times be a half an inch plus. Warmer surface temperatures, guys, going to remain an issue, or you're in the green circled area. That includes Indy, that includes Columbus, it includes Louisville, Lexington, Cincinnati, Urbana, Champaign. But pavement impacts are possible. I don't think everything melts on contact here, especially as we get into tomorrow morning. Are these totals on top of what we have already received? Yes. So this is from now through the end of the event. So like if you're in northwestern Indiana, this does not necessarily include what has already fallen. Maybe in southeastern Michigan where some of the snow is ongoing, but for the rest of us, this is additional snowfall accumulation. Good question there. Yay for Valparaiso. Yeah, guys, if you're up in Northwest Indiana, I'm a little jealous. I love the snow. I've always wanted to experience a crazy lake effect snowband, and I think at times over the next 24 to 36 hours, you all are going to see some crazy snowfall rates up here in Northwest Indiana. It is going to be whiteout conditions. It's going to be wild. Really, if you love snow, it's going to be exciting. If you don't love snow, it's going to be a very long next 36 hours up there. When do the temperatures start dropping in Indy? Let me go back over here and we will look here at the temperatures as we go over the next 36 hours. You can see here going to remain above freezing until probably the middle to latter part of the afternoon. This is by about 6 or 7 o'clock. By this point, temperatures across the Indy metro area dropping to freezing, and we should still then stay at or below freezing all the way through the overnight hours here, down into the 20s tonight, likely 20s tomorrow morning. So by the time we get into the evening, temperatures dropping to or below freezing and will likely stay there all the way through the day tomorrow. How much snow at I-70 mile marker 107? Appreciate that, Josh. I know that's tongue in cheek there, but generally half an inch to an inch falling from the sky, I would say, in that area. I do real quick want to talk about wind chills because I do have this pulled up as well. Because of the gusty winds, along with the dropping temperatures, we are also going to have a lot of very, very cold wind chill conditions as we go throughout the next 48 hours, especially into tonight and into tomorrow. So this is by the time we work towards midnight tonight. You can see temperatures, wind chill temperatures, 15 to 20 degrees across the state. Back in Illinois, we're talking about teens to single digits as we work into tomorrow morning. And really, as we go into Tuesday morning as well, going to continue to be feeling like temperatures are in the teens. And so, just some very, very cold temperatures for early November standards as we continue to go throughout the next couple of days. Thunder snow potential, I would not be shocked at all to see some thunder snow along the lakeshore in Northwest Indiana, the Chicago metro area. It's really, guys, to be completely honest, and I'll go back to the simulated radar, some of these returns and some of the atmospheric soundings up here with this band, especially as we get into tonight, 1, 2 a.m., kind of, I mean, to be completely honest, kind of crazy looks on the atmospheric soundings. I personally think that in terms of the intensity of the snowfall rates, it could be some of the most intense snowfall rates that we've seen in quite some time up here. Because the band doesn't stay in one spot, that will limit it from being an even upper end lake effect snow event, talking 2 feet plus of snow. That's not on the table because the band doesn't stay in the same spot. But I think that where the band sets up at times, you could be looking at some really, really crazy snowfall rates. It's very, very impressive looks on the data right now in terms of the intensity of these bands as they move through tonight and into tomorrow. So something to keep in mind there. All right, let me scroll up here. People are going to forget how to drive. It's the first snow event of the season, guys. First snow event of the season, and typically, people do take some time to adjust driving in the snow again. That's just the way things go. You go through summer, you don't have any issues at all. It's going to be a slow commute tomorrow morning because, again, we've got widespread snow showers really across the entirety of the Ohio Valley and into the Midwest as we work into tomorrow morning. All right, guys, let's see here. Take a couple more questions. Winnemac, let me look here at the future snowfall totals up here. Excuse me. So you can kind of see really anywhere in this area, you're generally going to be looking here at 3 to 5 inches of snow. I would say maybe up towards Winnemac, you're even a little bit higher. You could be upwards of 5 to 6 inches, but I would say a broad range for that area, 3 to 6 inches of snow. Plymouth, Kankakee up here, probably going to be in the higher amounts. There will be a kind of a sharp cutoff as you get towards Logansport, Winnemac, Rochester, in that area in there. I love these forecasts. Thank you so much. I'm excited to see how much we get in Winchester. I thank you, Natalie. I appreciate for tuning in. Southwestern Indiana. So Southwestern Indiana is in the spot where you are kind of just outside of the main flow. I do think you can see some scattered snow showers, but lesser totals in Southwest Indiana compared to areas a little bit further to the east. Now, if you are looking at Jasper, Washington, Bloomington, maybe some slightly better chances, but if you're as far southwest as Evansville, Princeton, towards the border of Illinois and Kentucky there, I think that you probably are dealing with minimal impacts, if any, down there across southwestern parts of Indiana. Kokomo, you can see kind of generally in the 1 to 2 inch range up here. Probably a slightly better chance of some slushy accumulations versus just a couple of counties down to the south in the Kokomo to Logansport area. Up to 1 inch in Bloomington falling from the sky possible. Not all that will accumulate, though. And guys, be sure, for specific details for your location, we go over here. This is the look here, the hourly forecast from the Clarity platform here. This is up in Crown Point. You can see the heavy snow coming in. You can click around. You can get the hour by hour winter focus here to see how much snow is going to fall. For our snow removal companies, we've got pavecast and treatment recommendations. So be sure to inquire on our website if you are doing snow removal. Really, really helpful to know When is snow going to be melting on the pavement? When is snow going to be accumulating? When do you need to treat versus not treat? You can look at different compositions. And so, go to bamwx.com. You can click on the inquiry link on our homepage of the website and inquire if you're in the snow removal industry. You're managing school decisions, delay decisions, super valuable winter weather tools on the Clarity platform here. But again, if you are even on the home package, you can get this accumulated snow forecast in a range from minimum to most likely to maximum over the next 36 hours. You can look at the daily forecast here. You can see what the most likely snow is. You can see up here for Crown Point, 7.5 inches through the end of the day, another 4.5 inches as we get into tomorrow. Very heavy snow event likely up here across northwestern Indiana. Beech Grove area, you may get up to an inch of snow or so falling from the sky. Not all of that will accumulate, but I do think at times, especially tomorrow morning, some slushy accumulations possible on the pavement. More likely to see more of that accumulate on grassy surfaces and elevated areas. We'll certainly, into tomorrow morning, going to feel like a snow globe. Be gusty winds, snow blowing around. We'll be certainly feeling like winter tomorrow morning, and again, could be a messy commute. So guys, I'm going to zoom things out. Here's another general look at the overall forecast through the end of this event. And so just to break it down for you all, because I know we're getting a lot of questions for specific locations. I can't go over every single one. If you were in the black circled areas, specifically Northwest Indiana towards the Chicago metro area, I think 8 to 12 inches of snow possible, localized 12 inches, most of the snow sticking, at times 2 to 3 inch per hour snowfall rates. If you are in the yellow area, I do think pavement impacts are likely. I do think probably about half of it melts on contact in terms of the pavement, but probably in spots of plowable snow event, it's going to be a very, very messy commute. If you were in the green area, this is where things are a little bit more scattered. Not every single person going to see pavement impacts in here, but I do think that especially tomorrow morning, some slushy accumulations at times a half an inch plus will be possible. So that includes anywhere from Urbana-Champaign to Indianapolis, Kokomo, Bloomington, Louisville, Cincinnati, Dayton. We zoom in here, really anywhere here across central and southern Indiana at play for some slushy accumulations, at least in a scattered fashion. Most areas will be seeing some snow showers as we get into tomorrow morning. You can see that here. This is 6 a.m. It's going to be a snow globe out there across the Ohio Valley. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap this up here. We will have another live update as we get into this afternoon. Michael is going to hop on, I believe, later this afternoon. And of course, if you need more updates as we go throughout the day today, more specifics, be sure to scan that QR code in the top left, or be sure to download the Clarity Weather app in the App Store, the Android store. $99 a year for custom updates sent from our meteorologists, video updates throughout the duration of this event. And I will say, I think it's going to be very, very useful ahead, because if we take a look at the pattern as we get towards Thanksgiving, there's a lot of high pressure that I see up here over the Arctic, over Greenland. That's going to shove colder air back down to the south. We've got a nice mid-November warm-up coming, but I really think that the pattern as we get towards Thanksgiving and especially into the start of December, this area in here, I think there is going to be plenty of opportunities for cold and snow as we close out November and into December. I think it's going to be a very busy pattern ahead. I'm already seeing signs of that on model guidance. And so you're probably going to be hearing from us a lot as we go over the next several weeks, and especially into December. It could be one to remember. So again, sign up for Clarity. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, share this with a friend, tag a friend in the comments, and we will have more updates as we go over the next 24 hours or so. Thanks, guys, for watching, and